Hello, friends, and welcome to week 4. We are going to be talking about how to close those enrollments. This will be a little bit of a shorter training than sometimes they are. But you guys, this is one thing that you want to practice over and over and over and over is just getting confident and asking for the sell. You guys notice I wear a new wedding ring all the time. This is fake. Don't worry, I don't have 95 real wedding rings. I just have 2. And then I have a few that are kind of fake that are fun to wear. So this is one. Love to wear this. And check this out. I made this. Look how cool this is. I did a double band. Super fun. But anyway, we're going to talk about enrolling. So this last week, you were supposed to be focusing on teaching classes where the focus is really helping educate people learn more about Doterra and help them to see the value of maybe why they would want to go from just purchasing a lavender to purchasing maybe a set of oils. And I am really big on people purchasing a set. In fact, I have people when I talk to them and they just say, hey, I'm going to do the 35 right now. I'll just say, you know what? Why don't you wait till you have your money for your kit? Because what I have noticed is a lot of times when they do that 35, they never order again. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do. And like there was one gentleman this week that he was like, I'm not ready to order yet, but I want to get my account. And I was like, go for it. But really what I like to do is help them get their oils because they're feeling shaky. I mean, anybody can figure out how to come up with $160. Like you could go mow people's lawns, rake their leaves, walk their dogs. You could do what you need to do to get $160 if you want it. Because I see people come up with thousands of dollars for things that are valuable to them. So really what our job is to create the value for them. And we're not asking them to spend thousands of dollars, not even hundreds. We're just asking them to spend what they think is going to work for them to move forward in their health. So that's what I absolutely love about asking for a sell in Doterra and feeling no shame or guilt with asking anybody to purchase anything because I know how amazing the products are and I know how much they've benefited my life. And I want other people to have that same experience. So we're going to go over the close again, and I'm going to add in a little bit more. So what I want to do is I always like to share while I'm looking stuff up because I want you to see where to find it, because otherwise you'll message me and say, hey, where do I find this? By the way, you can always go to my YouTube videos to see you can always go to my YouTube videos to see the recordings from prior things. But honestly, my secret, go ask Dad. I can hear my sweet little 11-year-old asking, yelling for me, Mom, Mom. So I just do Doterra. I'm going to open up 2 things. The Natural Solutions handout. And you guys, you want to make sure you don't want to go to an ad. You want to go to Doterra's official site that has a PDF. Because if you go to this ad, you're going to go to someone else's. You're not going to Doterra's official website. So you want to go to something that doesn't have the word ad next to it. And this is how I know I'm at Doterra because it's doterra.com, right? Little hack for you. So I'm going to open up that handout. And then the other thing I'm going to open up is the other kits. So Doterra Enrollment Kits USA PDF. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the US handout because they do have kits for other countries, which is really great. And, oh. I've never seen this handout before. Well, there we go. Beautiful handout. I actually don't ever really reference this because I just have them listed on my website. Do they have the Healthy Essentials kit? They do. That's my favorite one to sell. Okay. So now if I'm doing my class, you're going to close twice. You're going to be closing when you are explaining how everything works to the class. And then you're also going to close when you go around to talk to people again, because most people aren't going to enroll without your help. So I'm going to give you a little tip if you have a class. And I learned it from my friend Maria. She's a silver in Doterra, so she's an excellent teacher. Like by profession, she is an educator, and now she helps educators have more efficient running schools, better, that provide better programs and whatnot. Like she is incredible at teaching. And she once shared a story of teaching a class and she had so many people there. And I know this is a problem we all wish we could have, but it's You know, sometimes you'll have classes with more people than others. Like I remember teaching a class with 20 to 25 people one time, and I was overwhelmed because I was like, I need people to help me close this because I can't close by myself with that many people. And so she was by herself. So what she did is she actually, she was like, I had a bunch of like soaps, lotions, whatever in my suitcase that I'd hucked in. So what she did is when she was teaching her class, she closed the class, explained how they could get their kits and said, okay, anybody who fills this out on their own, puts it on the table right here, go ahead and drop your name in the little bowl here and we'll do a drawing. So you can do that. You can just say, you know, once you've put in your, once you fill out this form, go ahead and set it on the table, put your name in the bowl, and I'll do a drawing for several of these things that are here on the table. You can do that if you ever have a class that you're like, this is so big and I don't have anyone to help me close. So I'm going to explain what that means, because if you're like, help me close, bear with me, because I'm going to show you what I mean. So I end my class, go through, and really we talked last week about the key with the class is helping make sure that people understand how to use the doTERRA oils and how they would be a benefit in their life, right? So now we're trying to help them understand the benefit of purchasing them and purchasing more than one. It would be like you going on vacation and only taking and saying, you know what, I'm going to be gone for a month and I am only going to take something for my stomach with me. You're not going to, and you wouldn't have access to anything else, right? Like, I'm not going to take anything for my head. I'm not going to take anything for, you know, allergies or but insect repellent or anything to help me sleep. I'm just taking something for my stomach. That's it. Well, you would always want more than that in your emergency first aid kit, right? Or your first aid kit. That's how I feel about it with these oils, is I want people to have a set. So what I do, I'm going to go through my close again that I do when I'm in a group, and I'm going to show you how I close when I'm one-on-one. So I teach my class and then I just say, okay, so I want to show you guys how to get started with this so that you can get your oils at the best possible price. So there is the option to purchase retail. Retail is great for somebody who wants to purchase like maybe $100 of oils a year and that's it. But I can actually show you how to get your membership for free. So then it makes sense to enroll, right? Because we want you guys to get the best deal possible. I don't want anybody spending any more money than necessary. And I want to make sure that you have the right tools. Like, I want to make sure that you have a set of oils so that you're always prepared, because you know what? We never know what's going to come up. We never know when you're going to get a headache. You never know you're going to have a stomach ache. You never know. Like, I drove home the other night and my son threw up all over the car. You just never know when those things are going to happen, and being prepared is so important. So that's why I love my oils, is I've got what I need on hand at all times. So I want to show you guys how to be in that same situation for the best price. So first of all, I'm going to explain two of my favorite kits to you, because I think that doTERRA has some really great options, but here are two of my absolute favorite kits. You guys, this is a side note. The two kits that I share are the Healthy Start and the Healthy Essentials, and they don't have the Healthy Essentials in that handout. So you can print this off and have this supplementary. So I'll say, okay, you'll notice that there's several options on here. And I want you guys to make sure that you do what fits your budget the best, but I want to make sure that you have your needs met. So I'm going to go through them, and you're welcome to look through the kits, see what you think fits you the best, but I'm going to show you my two favorite here tonight. So the first one is called the Healthy Start Kit, and it's going to have your 10 basics: lemon, lavender, peppermint, tea tree, oregano, frankincense. And then you know that oil that's good for your immune system, that's On Guard, that's in the kit. The oil that we talked about being good for respiratory systems, Breathe, that's in the kit. The one that's good for any sort of tummy trouble, Digestin, that one's in the kit. And then that sore muscle oil, Deep Blue, is in the kit as well, plus a diffuser. So it's a really good kit if you're feeling a little bit like, I don't know where to start, I feel overwhelmed, and I want to make sure I don't spend too much money. This Healthy Start Kit is for you, 100%, because you know what? You're going to get your basics, and you're going to have your needs met with these oils, and you don't have to worry about breaking the bank. Like, it's a really great way to start. My other favorite kit is if you struggle with any feelings of anxiety or feeling a little under the weather, or not under the weather, but just feeling bummed out or blue or whatever, I'm a huge fan of this Healthy Essentials Kit, and I'll tell you why. Because you've got your basics in here still, and you have really good oils for your emotions as well. So you're still going to get your lemon, your lavender, your peppermint. You're going to get that Digestin. You're going to get that Deep Blue, the Breathe, the On Guard. So you're going to have 7 great basics. And then you're going to have 3 oils that really help with your mood. So that's Adaptive. That's Doterra's newest blend. So good for just getting rid of that overwhelm and helping to calm and relax and just help you be more level. And then it's got Balance in there. You guys, that is the very first oil I actually started with, and it sold me on oils. I used it and was like, wow, this is incredible. I love this oil. So I'm a huge fan of Balance. It's in there. And then Copaiba. Copaiba is very similar to CBD, but it's actually more effective. And here's the problem with CBD. I am not against CBD. It is so hard to find a good quality of it. Very hard. Everybody says their CBD is amazing, and I don't know enough about CBD to get a good quality, but I do know enough about my oils. And Copaiba is similar, and it can do similar things. And so it's good for your mood, but it's also good for pain and inflammation, right? So it's so good for a couple different things. So I love it. We love the Copaiba. And then you're going to get a diffuser. Now, another thing I love about this kit is the oils are actually 3 times the size as the other kit. So you're getting bigger bottles. So they're 15 milliliters instead of 5. So I love this Healthy Essentials kit. So what I want you to do is just think about you and your family and your budget. I don't want anyone to like go into this feeling like you're going to be crazy stressed, but I want you to be well equipped for whatever happens, because life happens. Whether or not you're healthy or not right now, life happens, and there's always a need to have oils that help. I'm very healthy. I never get sick, but yeah, I can have tummy issues. I can have a little bit of head fog sometimes. I can need some peppermint to help keep me alert. And I am very active. So I love that deep blue. So it's good for those sore muscles. So I'm a huge fan of having what you need on hand to be prepared. So I want you to just look through the kits, see what fits you best. But these are my 2 recommendations. And this is definitely what I would recommend. So go ahead and you can fill out that form that you have. I'm going to walk around and help you answer questions, or answer questions for you. Maybe I can help you decide on a kit. You can always do like, and this is Jen Oldham's side note, you can always offer a gift for people signing up. Anybody who decides to purchase tonight will get this free Modern Essentials book, or I'll give you $6 towards the Modern Essentials app, or you could throw out a free hand sanitizer, whatever. You can throw a little gift for them to order then. I have found if people don't order right then and there, there's like maybe a 10% chance they'll actually order later. A lot of times they don't. They're super excited. They're, I'm going to order this. And then you never see them again. So, and maybe in person it's 25%, but a lot of times people don't order if you don't get them to order there. So I love to get them ordered there. Overcoming objections. One thing I'll say is, like, people always bring up money. Well, I don't know, money is so tight right now. And I'll say, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I felt, found. I know exactly how you feel. I felt that exact same way when I started Doterra. My husband and I were living off $1,700 a month. So for me to spend that $160 to get started was overwhelming. But what I found is it immediately saved me $500. So my husband gets these little skin bumps on his forehead that you want to get rid of. And so we have to go to the dermatologist to get rid of them. And it's like $500. It's $400 to remove it and $100 to biopsy it. And it's so expensive. And for us, when we're living off $1,700, $500 is really a lot. So for me to spend $160 and have some tools that can help with that saved me so much money. Like my kids, I haven't taken them to the doctor for being sick in 5 years. 1 trip to the doctor is the cost of this kit. So I have saved thousands of dollars with these oils. So, you know, I have found that they are so helpful. Another objection. My husband, I don't know. I need to ask my husband what he thinks. You guys, 90% of the time, that is totally an excuse. Like for them to spend like $5,000, yes, you need to talk to your husband. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. My husband, he could care less what I spend. I could go buy something that was, I mean, everybody's budget is different. I could probably spend $2,000 without even mentioning it to my husband or saying, what do you think on this? I mean, of course I do. And I just think for us, that's kind of our limit. But usually what I'll say is, what do you think your husband would say if you asked him? Oh, he usually lets me do whatever I want. Because the husband thing is usually an excuse. So then I'll just say, okay, so what does your husband usually say when you ask him stuff like this? I always encourage, and if they're like, well, we have a decision, anything over $100, we talk to our spouses. And I'm like, that's great. I can honor that. I think that's so great. But I try to help them problem solve, because it is scary to purchase something that you're not sure how to use. I felt that way. It actually took me 3 months to get started with this. So I like to try to help come up with a solution for whatever it is, for a reason they don't want to, for whatever reason they don't want to purchase the oils. Now, after I do the close in front of everybody, what I do is I go through and I just say, okay, what kind of questions do you have for me? And sometimes they'll have like things highlighted on their price sheet that they want. I want the deep blue, the on guard, the ginger, whatever. And I'll just say, okay, here's the deal. So you can do the 35, but I'm just going to walk you through the pricing. You could pay the 35 and then I'll add up the rest of what they want and say, okay, it's 270. If you actually buy that kit that's 160, you could add on a ginger and you're going to have a lot of great stuff and you're going to end up spending 200. So it'll actually save you money to get the kit. So I usually go through and do that. I've done that as well with retail orders. If they say, I want to get a frankincense and a lavender, I'll say, okay, let me show you something real quick. If you do the 35 and a frankincense and lavender, here's what you're spending. Here's what you're spending if you do retail frankincense and lavender. You're actually saving money just doing the 35. But if you do a kit, you're going to get the frankincense and lavender and 8 other oils and you're spending 160. So those are some just little pro tips that I've learned over the years. But what I do is just say, I like to kneel down so that I'm not towering over them. And I just like to say, okay, so what kind of questions do you have? And that's usually when I really help get them into a kit. I really have learned, and this is an art of, you just learn it after doing a long time reading people. You know, I can tell some people that it is a stretch for them to get that kit. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about how this would actually help you financially to purchase this kit that's 160. If I can tell that it's someone that has got money or that isn't afraid to spend money, I have no problem trying to upsell them. And here's why. I've never had somebody come to me and say, I wish I would have gotten a smaller kit. I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and said, I wish I would have gotten a bigger kit. I have seen that over and over and over and over and over and over and over where they say, I wish I would have gotten a bigger kit. I mean, I see that so much. And so I'll just say, okay, here's the deal. If you purchase this bigger kit, it's actually saving you money and you're getting 3 times the oils and you're only spending like $90 more for 3 times the oil. So you're spending quite a bit. It's actually a better deal. If someone is really, really hesitant, I will try to get them into the simple solutions. And I'll just say, okay, why don't we do and I call this the semi-customizable kit because I still want to get them ordering about 100 PV because sometimes doTERRA has like their incentive trip. If you have an order that's 100 PV, it'll count for points. Or sometimes I do incentives that if the enrollment's 100 PV, it counts for points. So I always in my mind like to get somebody ordering 100 PV. I would rather have them order 70 than nothing though. And the 70 is a great, the 70 PV $105 kit is a great way for them to start. So what I'll do is I'll just say, okay, I know you mentioned On Guard and lemon. So I have an idea. And I know you also mentioned wanting geranium. So I have an idea. So there's a kit that's semi-customizable. So you're automatically going to get your lemon, your On Guard, Serenity, and Deep Blue. If we add geranium to this, you're going to be right at like 140. So it's actually going to be a really awesome price. That's how I talk. And I always talk about semi-customizable. Yes, they can get this without adding anything, but I always like them to add something so that they're at the threshold of 100 PV. I know I've probably breezed through all of this and talked a mile a minute, but I'm also open for questions. So don't worry about like, if you have questions, you can of course ask questions and I'll give you more ideas or clarify. I'm always happy to do that. Okay. So that's how I do a class. If I'm doing a one-on-one, what I do is as I'm sitting there, I will say, okay, tell me a little bit about your health concerns or goals that you want to tackle with these oils. And then as I do my little presentation, I tie in everything to what they're wanting. I'm anxious. Okay, so I love adaptive. I love balance. I love Copaiba for those anxious feelings. And then at the end, I'll try to get them into that Healthy Essentials kit. If they say, I really want frankincense, and I know I want lemon, and I know I want the deep blue, then a lot of times I'm like, hey, try this Healthy Start kit. I listen to what they say and think about a kit that I think would fit their needs. But throughout the presentation, I cater the oils that they would want based on what they've told me that their needs are. So I listen. I just listen. And so basically what I'll do is I'll just say, okay, so tell me a little bit more about you and your health concerns or goals. and then maybe a budget that you would feel comfortable spending to get started. Okay, so I don't want to be over $200 and I want to get something for head tension, something good for stomachs, and my son can struggle with respiratory things. And I'm like, okay, I know the kit for you. I would start with this Healthy Start Kit. So I listen to their budget and I listen to what they want and I try to match them with the kit. If you throw a million options at anybody, a confused mind doesn't purchase. It's like, like 5 different options. I don't even know. So I literally try to make their decision for them. I've just learned this over the years because I find if they need to sit and think about it, a lot of times they'll talk themselves out of purchasing. So I'd rather get them into a set of oils. And sure, excuse me, I could have upsold them maybe to the Natural Solutions for $570, but I may also be taking the risk that in trying to upsell them that they won't get anything at all. And I'd rather have them get the $160 and make the decision for them and then have them order the things later that would be in this bigger kit. I do upsell the Natural Solutions kits, but in the beginning, you guys, I want you to focus getting people into the Healthy Start Kit or the Healthy Habits or the Healthy Essentials. I don't want you to try to focus on selling $500 kits right now. I want you to focus on getting them into kits and then showing them how to use those kits. So next week, we're going to talk about supporting. Like, what do you do? I'm going to do it all on how to do a wellness consult, because I'm huge on those, like how to keep people ordering, how to keep people engaged in ordering. So again, to recap my close, when I'm meeting with somebody one-on-one, I'll just say, okay, tell me a little bit more about what your goals are with these oils. And then, at the end, I'll say, okay, so what budget would you feel comfortable spending? What is it worth to you? What would it be worth to you to get rid of those headaches? What would it be worth to you to get rid of that stomach issue? And what budget do you feel comfortable spending? And then I try to get them into a kit, and I don't like them to sit and I'll let them see all the kits, but if you can help narrow it down for them and almost help guide them into a decision, you're going to get more enrollments that way. And if they're like, I'm just trying to decide between this $350 and the $570, I'll say, okay, tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. And then I'll see which one I think would fit them best. Okay. I want to hear your questions because I know you'll have them. So be in touch with me and let me know what kind of questions you have with closing. Your assignment this week is to practice your close 5 times. I want you to find 5 people to listen to you. It could be one of your kids. It could be your mom. It could be your husband. If it is really stressful for you to find 5 different people, you could practice it on your husband 5 times, or your friend or your roommate or whatever it is. But I want you to go over your close 5 times. And if you can do your one-on-one or your class this week and actually have that closing conversation, that's bonus points. And this week, I'm going to give you some business tools. I'm going to give you something that will help you to grow your business. I've got some fun swag. I've got some fun notebooks. I've got some fun cases, things like that. So I'm going to pick something that will help you grow your business this week, or just something fun to have. Please let me know what your questions are. Good luck with enrolling. And remember, practice makes perfect. Don't expect to get it right all at once. The reason I'm a great closer is I've been doing this for 10 years and I've just learned to read people. I've learned cues, and I am still looking for ways to get better. So you guys are doing so great. I'm so excited to hear how it goes for you, and be in touch.